So, someone asked, have I come to terms with the loss of my best friend, David Simon? And they also asked the question, how does one deal with loss? So, first, very specifically about David Simon, I had come to terms with the inevitability of his dying about a year before he passed away. And David and I spent a lot of time discussing the meaning of death. And he also, in fact, told me that there were times during his illness, because of the brain cancer, he couldn't find the right word to say. He knew what he wanted to say. In other words, he had the thought that he wanted to express himself, but couldn't find the right word. And sometimes he could find the right word and he could not articulate it. He described, therefore, through that particular experience, his experience of consciousness as a field of potential thought forms. And we discussed many times together that with the loss of the body and even of the brain, that realm of potential thought forms and consciousness still existed.
Want to do the meeting now?
And he was very kind of humorous at times about it. He expressed even joy at times, and at times sadness about the fact that he was leaving local for non-local, and perhaps would miss the local so much, because that's where we have our relationships and those that we care about and those that we love. However, David was never angry or frustrated, except when he was struggling to find a word. But he was not scared about death. We wished each other goodbye long before he died, and we kept a promise to ourselves that we would grieve. I would grieve. I'm still grieving. But I would not grieve in anger or in denial. I would grieve out of love. I would remember the great times that I had with him, and that in itself would bring me immense joy. And that ultimately this void that I still feel would fill with not only my great memories of David, but with great love for him, and in fact the realization that ultimate love is beyond the person but for everyone, and translates into compassion, empathy, and the desire to do good. And that's kept me very much at peace with David's loss.